Good morning and welcome back to a chapter a day. It is Sabbath. Happy Sabbath. Saturday, July the 27th. And we will be reading Joshua chapter 6. So, Joshua is now leading the people and he is bringing them through. He has brought them through the Jordan where the priest's feet touched the water backed up, everyone passed through, very similar to their after Egypt experience through the Red Sea. And now they are heading into the city of Jericho, and Joshua has an encounter with an angel who has told him to take off his shoes, very similar to Moses' encounter with the burning bush. Okay, so let's continue reading. Now Joshua was straitly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. And the Lord said unto Joshua, See, I have given into thine hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor. And you shall compass the city, all ye men of war, and go round about it the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns. And the 7th day you shall compass the city 7 times, and the priest shall blow with the trumpets. And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up, every man straight before him. So the instructions were, well, Jericho heard that the children of Israel were coming to war with them, so they kept inside. City gates, city walls shut tight, and now God is giving instructions to Joshua how they are going to fight this battle. First of all, they have to get into the city, so that's why he told them, go around the city once for 6 days. And then on the 7th day, go around the city 7 times. And when the priests blow the horn, a long, loud blast will cause the wall of the city to fall flat. So he's not telling them go in there and barge down the city walls. Following instructions is very important. Okay, verse 6. And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests and said unto them, Take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord. And he said unto the people, Pass on and compass the city, and let him that is armed pass on before the ark of the Lord. And it came to pass, when Joshua had spoken unto the people, that the 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of the ram's horns passed on before the Lord, and blew with the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord followed them. And the armed men went before the priests that blew with the trumpets, and the rearward came after the ark, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. And Joshua had commanded the people, saying, You shall not shout, nor make any noise with your voice, neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth until the day I bid you shout. Then you shall shout. So again, instructions are very important if you want things to go right. Okay, so they were given instructions as to how to do this. The priests had their part, the people had their part, and when it was time, Joshua would do his part and see God's handwork. Verse 11. So the ark of the Lord compassed the city, going about it once, and they came into the camp and lodged in the camp. And Joshua arose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord, and 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord went on continually, and blew with the trumpets, and the armed men went before them. But the rearward came after the ark of the Lord, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. And the 2nd day they compassed the city once, and returned into the camp. So they did 6 days, just as God commanded. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they rose early about the dawning of the day, and compassed the city after the same manner 7 times. Only on that day they compassed the city 7 times. And it came to pass at the seventh time, when the priest blew with the trumpets, Joshua said unto the people, Shout, for the Lord hath given you this city. And the city shall be accursed, even it and all that are therein, to the Lord. Only Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all that are with her in her house, because she hid the messengers that we sent. And ye in any wise keep yourselves from the accursed thing, lest you make yourselves accursed when you take of the accursed thing, and make the camp of Israel accursed, and trouble it. But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron are consecrated unto the Lord. They shall come into the treasury of the Lord. So the people shouted when the priest blew with the trumpets. And it came to pass, when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. Following God's instructions, very important. Joshua gave them the instructions, they followed it. The seventh day, they went around 7 times. The priest blew the trumpets. Joshua gave the command to shout, and the walls crumbled. Now, people will say, well, maybe the walls weren't strong, but this was also divine intervention. Maybe the trampling around the city, all of that helped to loosen the base of the wall. And then the 7th time, the trumpets, the noise, the reverberation of the sound, and the just the sound, just their voices, just the sound and the marching of their feet. And with God's divine help, the walls came down and they went in. Now they were given instructions. Don't take anything. It's accursed. And sometimes we need to be so careful what we bring into our homes. We go out there and we see things. Oh, that's so lovely. That's pretty. I think I'll have that. And we know that's not even of any God affiliation, at least not the God. And we bring it into our homes, and we begin to have some situations that we can't even understand. And that's why we have brought the accursed thing. Even sometimes it can come in with people. People can bring an accursed thing into your home. Okay, let's go on. Verse 21. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, ox and sheep and ass, with the edge of the sword. But Joshua had said unto the 2 men that had spied out the country, Go into the harlot's house, and bring out thence the woman and all that she had, as you swear unto her. And the young men that were spies went in and brought out Rahab and her father and her mother and her brethren and all that she had. And they brought out all her kindred and left them without the camp of Israel. And they burnt the city with fire and all that was therein. Only the silver and the gold and the vessels of brass and of iron they put into the treasury of the house of the Lord, just like God commanded. They saved Rahab because that was their promise to her, and God agreed to that, them fulfilling that, and everything else was supposed to be destroyed. Only vessels of brass and iron that could be used in the sanctuary in God's house were taken. And Joshua saved Rahab and the harlot alive, and her father's household, and all that she had, and she dwelleth in Israel even unto this day, because she hid the messengers which Joshua sent to spy out Jericho. And Joshua adjured them at that time, saying, Cursed be the man before the Lord that riseth up and buildeth this city Jericho. He shall lay the foundation thereof in his firstborn, and in his youngest son shall he set up the gates of it. So the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame was noised throughout all the country. So now Joshua is the leader. He is beginning to be seen as God's leader, because people see how God is working through him, just like he did with Moses. The city of Jericho was destroyed, as well as everything in it except Rahab and all her family, and they would remain with Israel. And we will hear some things about Rahab, not much, but we will hear her name again mentioned later on somewhere in the Bible, and we will see how God works. Even in the most unlikely people that we can think of, we might think to ourselves, oh, this person is beneath God's saving. Nobody's beneath God's saving. I am telling you. God can save anyone who wants to be saved. God is not going to grab you and say, I'm going to save you, because you have to want to be saved. And some people just don't seem to want to save themselves, or to be saved, or to live a life that's not full of misery. I mean, on this earth here, everyone can describe some sort of misery they've been in. A life that would be free of misery and hardships and just beauty, and we can't even imagine. We can only imagine what we've already experienced here on earth. So some of us just don't care to be saved, or don't want to be saved. But salvation is for everyone. Everyone. So that's the end of Joshua chapter 6. And we are going to be moving on to the next chapter in our next reading. But until then, have a great day. And until our next reading, remember, faith comes by the hearing of God's word. Have a great day. Bye.